Good morning. Today I'd like to talk about I'm kind of feeling uh, the tide of change, to put it mildly. Um, Before Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, about, I want to say, 4 to 5 days before, the song The Sound of Silence by Disturbed, I just couldn't stop listening to it. And my husband was really very disturbed by my, being drawn to this music and listening to it repeatedly. And I just felt called, like something was calling me. And then I meditated the night that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and what I experienced uh, was quite interesting. I experienced something of like pyramids of light coming out of both hands, and another pyramid of light coming out of the top of my body, and that I was standing amongst many of the same, that it was a passage, a lighting of the way. And now I'm always been very sensitive to things that have to do with the other side of the veil. It is part of my natal chart. It is part of my it is part of who I am. So this is stuff that interests me. So of course I'm going to notice it more than somebody might otherwise. So um, I have been getting this sense that within a very short period of time, and I'm going to say before the end of October, I'm even going to give it a time frame. And I don't normally like to give time frames to psychic impression because they're wrong most of the time. I don't know why, but timelines are very difficult for psychics and tarot readers. It's as if we have information that's privileged and a little ahead of our time. So it's a little frustrating that you can see it, you know it's going to happen, but you cannot prove a darn thing. So in that sense, I'm going to tell you what I'm getting. Now, just much as I didn't know who it was that was going to pass. I didn't even really fully understand that someone was going to pass, but I sure knew it after it happened. I knew what happened when it all played out. And again, I'm getting this sense, and this time it's from a different perspective. It isn't from the light that I'm getting a calling. It's actually regarding COVID, and what I'm seeing coming is a rather difficult time. Um, but what I want to know, I'm going to connect some dots. Okay, um, is this virus connected to us becoming aware that things aren't as we've been told? Is this, I'm not saying this virus was in any way done on purpose, because I believe to wallow around in conspiracy theories is to wallow in the weeds, and I don't care to wallow in the weeds. We have it, we have to deal with it, and it doesn't matter why we have it. It really doesn't. It's kind of past that point. Once it's out, it's out. And all the I'm right and you're wrong isn't going to change the fact that we have a problem. Um, and we have a problem in a time when we're going Pluto direct. We are Pluto direct right now in Capricorn, which, and then we have some other, planets in Capricorn right now as well that um, I think are just laying bare the truth of our government, the truth of our circumstances. And then I find it very fascinating that within a few days' time, somebody who's in leadership in our country has the virus, is hospitalized, no longer has the virus, and is out and about in the world at large. And I'm heartbroken about this. I just am, because there's no way that it is arguable that those of us who live in the real world, that this is even remotely real, or that it passes the smell test. Okay. And so to bring it together now, what I am sensing is for those of you who are out there right now and you feel the virus isn't real, or you feel the virus isn't really that bad and it only maybe affected a few people versus the numbers you've been told. I feel like you're the ones that are really, you need to be careful. And I say that with the most kindest of hope for you, because I'm looking at this and I'm saying that the energy right now, it's daring you to look it down, and if you dare to look it down, you're going to find out what it is. So I think that right now, I'm going to state that as a warning to those out there who do not take this seriously. It is serious, and it is connected to many points that we're converging upon today, including Pluto direct, which is kind of that sinister behind the scenes, things you can't see, but you know in the when you have those dark dreams and you know you're a child and the monster's in the closet, that would be your Pluto energy. That would be where that comes from. So yes, it's childlike, and oftentimes we can dismiss it as, I'll go in there and stomp the monster out of your closet. But the truth is, the child forever will remember that they felt that. So that's important for them. So now I'm rambling. I will stop. Okay, what I am asking the cards today is that I'd like confirmation. Is this virus today that we have, Spirit, you've given me this vision of those who choose to challenge the authenticity of this virus, that it's about to get complicated for them. And I'm in gratitude, Spirit, for you making me aware of this, because the truth is that even I need to be careful. We all do. We all do. None of us are beyond the reach of this virus. So I'm going to put the laptop down so you can watch me select my cards. I will select 14 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, there is our 14 cards, and let's just get them gathered back up. And let's see how this is going to go. So we're asking the cards about this situation again that we're in, and why it's impacting me so heavily, Brad. Okay, the Black Swan, the Father of Cups. Okay, so, this energy is coming forward, and I don't think it's a Black Swan of a loving kind. Okay, but this is the bottom of the pack. So let's just go ahead and leave that there. That's just the bottom of the pack, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start looking at what we've got here. We start out with the Mother of Swords. I would say that this is the virus. No, a lot of people, it's the Page of Swords, or it's usually in the swords. I think this virus is airborne, and an owl is bad news, and bad news is coming. Yes, to get a Black Swan and an owl in 2 cards time when I'm asking, is this about to accelerate? Yes, it is. It's about to accelerate, and that burden that I'm feeling is not out of alignment. And what it's being crossed by is the Father of Pentacles. What we've developed into. We've become quite industrialized. We've become able to get from here to there, without any issues. And how we get places, how we, you notice the antlers, it's like it's points on the globe, how we get around. Left this in a very well placed, the virus is everywhere. And so And what I want to know is, how I'm feeling like we're just about to see um, a level of trouble that is going to be fairly remarkable. So, and we're having uh, what I'd call super spreader events. Kind of people are forgetting, and they're just getting together and they're doing things up to and including rallies that they shouldn't be going to. And I ask myself, are they suicidal? I do. I'm wondering right now. I'm starting to question a lot of things. Why? Anyway, we have the daughter of Pentacles. This innocence, how we stand before it, on the earth in such innocence. And we are kind of like deer with our eyes caught in the lamps. But notice the rainbow in the background. I do think the rainbow does speak to there's hope. But we are, the earth wants us to know, yes, that you're caught in this cycle on earth, and it's going to be rough. And this is in a past position, so this isn't just quite as pressing on my mind, but here we go. Here we go. We're like lambs to the slaughter. We're sitting, and of course this is still a past position. This is the virus moving through, and us really not understanding what was happening to us, and how it does have that it will be illuminated. There, notice that the lamb has a little bit of sunshine in its soul, and that it is going to look for and find answers to what's happening and why it is under this these swords. Okay, and then we have a Four of Pentacles, and again, past position in the below. It's about the structure of things. I mean, if we think that we can basically avoid the structure of this situation we're in, notice how everything is connected. And it flows from one pillar to the next, to the next, to the next. The only way we're going to get this under control is by dealing with the connections, how we move about, how we give and receive. That's and I think a lot of countries have dealt with this. We have not. In the near future, we get the Hierophant, and this is that something major is coming. Now, what is it that's coming? I don't know, but I'm not taking this as being from our government. I believe that the universe, the laws of the universe, is a higher government, and I believe that they're about to come calling in some way or another. Now, and I think that the way they're going to come calling is that we're going to realize that we are talking about nature, and that nature itself holds the key, not us. And they're going to unleash upon us the truth about where we are and who we are versus some other things. Okay, at the heart of it, the Mother of Pentacles. This is interesting. Mother and child being huddled up and maybe in a state of pulling back. Okay, we got a lot of court cards here. Mother of Cups. Yeah, the virus is going to be coming down around us. We're about to see it in some new ways. It is not under control, and the more we go into denial, the more it's going to fall down around us. So that's interesting, and that's kind of what I'm feeling. Is that this is like we've been kind of sticking our nose up at the process, and I feel like I'm enlightened, I'm awake, and even I want to discount and dismiss what's happening here. I want to get on with my life. I'd like to see the happy ending to this story, but right now, until we do some work, There is no happy ending. We haven't done our work. And you can ask yourself, why are some other countries able to manage this virus and we're not? Well, because we're not doing our work, and it isn't the leadership's fault in some ways. It's everyone's fault. I know that for me, I respect and practice social distancing until there's something better. I wear a mask. I don't complain. If I see you out there in public, in social situations, and you're not wearing a mask, I sadly assume that you are not well. So, what we get is we get the Four of Cups. More of that structure that's not there, um, that we're having a hard time finding. And are we having a hard time finding it because we just don't want to take a look at the work that's involved? Um, we don't want to stop long enough to get the problem under control. I don't know, but if you take note in this card, the moon is listening. And then above, as the moon's listening, you see the kind of the rays coming down and the rat covering the cup. Is this the infection going into our souls systemically? Is that what this is? It kind of feels that way. And we get the Mother of Wands. Again, some more court cards. This is saying how we are interacting as humans, the way we treat each other, is just not, it's not healthy. It's poisonous. And you can see that in this card, the Mother of Wands, it's a snake. And she's wrapped around her eggs, and this is in the conclusion position, and it's as though she's taking a protective position. Is this Mother Earth wrapping herself around her eggs and saying, you come near me, you do one more thing to me, and I'm going to bite you, and I'm poisonous? Well, yes, it is. It is. It's part. That's a good part of it, and that's kind of, again, that's what I'm sensing is that we kind of have pushed and not recognized to a point that we failed to understand other energies exist, and we are not living with those energies in a compatible way, in a sustainable way. And as a result of it, we get the Nine of Pentacles. How we interact and what we're doing. It's not working, and it's basically with earth-based energy, we have come to a place where we maybe need to rethink about that. We maybe need to relook at how we go about doing things, because we've kind of come to a place where we know it's not been successful. And then as we embrace this, there's a metamorphosis between us and Earth. There's a balancing, a rebalancing. Now I want to ask further on that card, because again, that Great Awakening we keep kind of hearing about. By the way, I'm using the Wild Unknown deck, but we keep hearing about this Great Awakening. Well, in this position, it's saying that there is some negotiations going on and some transformation going to happen. Okay, and then we get the Ace of Swords. Something new will be born out of this, and that I'm happy for. But I do again want to clarify, because we're getting transformation, something new, and then to top it all off, it's going to be throughout the world and how we go about interacting. Well, this is kind of a beautiful message in the face of things, really. So these cards, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the World card, I am just going to keep those out. And I'm using the Wild Unknown. Put these back. A lot of court cards. So, a lot of this I think is speaking to just how we interact and You know, the level of yay and nay is pretty high, and let's see what deck I want to use for the. Let's see what we got here. All right, we'll just go ahead and use this lovely red white deck. It's basically a traditional one, and I'm going to do again the same thing. I'm going to pull cards, and I'm going to ask for clarification on this metamorphosis and this new beginnings. It's going to go on throughout the world, and tell us, Spirit, what does that actually mean in terms of this reading? Because I'm having a lot of energy coming in at me at night now. That's pretty. So we got 2. It's pretty interesting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a funny spot. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, there we go. Okay, what we get here is the 7 of Wands. This kind of where we're at is we do feel really kind of embattled. Okay, that's we do feel embattled. I always thought of 7s as lucky numbers until I started doing numerology, astrology, and tarot. Yeah, I just don't think so. Okay, so in relation to this transformation, new beginnings throughout the world, Spirit, tell me more about that. When we get a Page of Swords, that virus energy. And let me put that up so you guys can see that. Actually, I didn't do that for you. Sorry. The Page of Swords. Okay. And I would say that that's the energy of the virus and how we are responding to it. We are quite immature about how we're dealing with it. We've kind of decided that, you know, the information certainly must be false. That would be those clouds in the background, and you see them slashing through the air at what nothing. Um, you know, that is the kind of energy we have right now about where we're at. We're kind of almost like not making sense, in my opinion. And what it's crossed by is the Hierophant. So remember, we got like the higher government, and now we're going down into the weeds, and we're asking, what does this transformation, this new beginning, and the world have to do with this? Well, right now, the way this is being handled in this country at this time, we're about to see some things, and I think that we're going to see the vulnerabilities of the human condition, um, which is going to lead to something of a major player, I would say, being hung up, hospitalized, incapable of making decisions, choices. And I wonder if we're going to know about this, or, you know, if we're going to, there's going to be some, I just get the impression there's going to be some hiding of information. Okay. That's interesting. And it is to cover up how resources have been handled. Well, that's interesting. Okay, and in the below position, you've got how cups have been handled. The 4 of Cups, and you can see that this is an offer. Maybe this person doesn't want that this is an offer they didn't have a choice to take. Um, and its nature is of the collective. So very interesting. Okay, and the end result of that offer that isn't wanted is this being deeply under the weather. Um, Again, I'm really getting a call that we're going to see uh, things amp up. I think we're going to see someone laying in state in the Capitol. And I think it is energetically, I'm feeling it's close. Okay. In the heart of it is this King of Pentacles. What is this? Well, I don't rightly know. A lot of readers, you might look at this and say, oh, that's our greedy king right now. But I don't know. I kind of don't know that as we know it. We think we know how things are done. We think we know who does things, but I'm not sure we do know. I'm kind of less to the degree now that I know than I've ever been. I don't think I know. But let's just say that whoever this might be, it represents the coins of our country. Okay. And it is going to have, they're going to have to go into retreat as a result of what's coming. So someone is about to get sick or is sick. They're going to go into the hospital and they're going to have the dark night of their soul. And that lantern is like the essence of their soul. Okay. They're in retreat. And in our hopes and fears positions, we get the Chariot, rapid transformation. And I'm going to take that to mean that whatever's going to happen, it's going to help us to see what we haven't seen previously, that which has been hidden from us. Okay, so, and as a conclusion card, we get the Lovers. And I find this incredibly sad, but I'm going to point it out because it is sort of what I think is one of the dark parts of this situation we're in. Is you notice that these are like white angels, and everything is so white. I think that in some ways, and I'm just going to address this, I think that we, as white people, somehow became entitled and in love with our position and tied to it. And it's wrong. And in some ways, and I've done a lot of meditation and prayer on this, I feel embarrassed to be white right now because I think it's so piggy. But that's just my personal thing. But this is a major arcana, and this is, and it's basically how we're tied. Is the situation we're in have anything to do with this virus we have? No, I really don't think so. But will it feed the virus? Yes, it will. Okay. And, basically the earth is wanting to offer us something new. And something new is coming. I think this virus is going to cause us to have to change how we give and receive coin. It's very clear that the deficit as a result of it is going to be ridiculous. In fact, I even hate to think about it. You talk about getting a check, which we probably all need, but our system is so set up to take from the bottom first and go up the chain. And to me, it's frightening because I don't know at what point that it gets into balance. But this could be suggestive of that a new balance as a result of this situation with coin is coming. And it'll be a death of the old. It'll be a death of what we've known previously. It is all of the events right now are connected, and to think that it is just it's a news piece over here and it's a news piece over there, and you can barely keep up with, which I can completely appreciate. All of this is connected, and it will lead us uh, to death. Um, but death of the old brings out renewal. So, death isn't something that, in my opinion, is the worst card you can see, because it doesn't always signify literal death. In this case, I do think we're going to be seeing someone laying in state in the Capitol. Okay, and then we get this Page of Pentacles. There will be some news coming forward. Um, we're about to learn how we're gonna move forward. It's coming, and it's a result of this virus. But how we've done things in the past on this earth and how we've interacted, it's over. We can't do it anymore. And again, the bottom of the pack was this Seven of Wands, this embattled energy, this Eight of Pentacles, this hard work, and this Ten of Wands carrying this heavy load. We're kind of out of ways to go forward, and Spirit's about to show us, or give us what we need. Uh, because in this sense, when you see this 10, this is an energy. It's done, gone, and over with, and it's about to be something new. And there was a lot here that says there is going to be something new. So with that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And if you would like to have an astrology reading, your natal chart, your archetype, please contact me on www.twiggy.com. I do tarot readings, and I later today will be introducing a new reader that will be on our website, and I'm very excited about, Pearl Rowland. At that, I thank you for joining me here today.